All right, so in this video, we're gonna cover. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me grab this. Hello? Call options? Out of the money call options? I'm sorry. I have the right to take this call, but I'm not obligated to. So I have to go because I have to make a video right now, and my subscribers are counting on me. I apologize, but I'll call you back later if I feel like it. I have a right, but not an obligation to. If you thought that opening was corny, just wait until the rest of the video. Now, all jokes aside, if you guys didn't understand the opening, stick around, hear me out. I'm going to explain options contracts. This is for entertainment purposes only, but I'm going to cover how I made 200% toying around with Coinbase option contracts. And you have to realize option contracts is an excellent way to make a cushion in your portfolio if you're doing it strategically and correctly. However, if you're trading options contracts like a drunken gambling sailor right off of a degenerate ship, then you can easily blow up your account. And that's not something you want to happen. There's a lot of advantages to using option contracts. You can only use a small sliver of your portfolio to buy options contracts, and it's just a small amount compared to the amount that it would cost if you actually wanted to own the underlying stock outright. And we're going to cover all that, the advantages, the disadvantages to option contracts. And please bear in mind, if you're a diamond hand person, you're probably not going to appreciate this video too much, but you have to realize nowadays, I'm not trying to buy lottery tickets and hit grand slams and hit $10, $20, $30,000 on option contracts. I'm looking to load up the bases with Coinbase stock, and I'm trying to just buy options so I can hit singles, doubles, and then hopefully later on get some runs in and really add some cushion to my portfolio. So without further ado, this week's episode of the Bulls, the Bears, and the Bats. Let's go. So the really cool thing about options that I appreciate the most is that you get to leverage your bets and you have more purchasing power than simply investing. However, there's an expiration date that your conviction must come true by. So we're going to jump into all that, but I want to make sure we're on the same page. An option contract is a right to exercise the contract, not an obligation. You only exercise the contract if you wish to, but most of the time, especially when it comes to call options, people tend to just sell the contract to someone else when they're up big. They don't really wait until the expiration date and they don't exercise it. So for those saying trading options can be dangerous, they are right in certain circumstances, but not the one we're going to cover and demonstrate today. We are going to be discussing buying call options out of the money. Alright, so it's June 23rd today, and I'm showing you guys the trade that I made. So yesterday, Coinbase stock was trading at $222, and I think that Coinbase stock is going to go much higher. I actually see it by the new year being closer to 350 if Bitcoin price is going to do what I think it's going to do, and it's going to make all the other altcoins go up with it. So I am very bullish on Bitcoin. I am not trusting the FUD, and so what I did is I spent a couple of $1,000s buying option contracts, and I'm going to run you through exactly what I did. So as you can see, the date is June 22nd, 21. This is when I purchased the call option. So the order type is buy open for the option. Quantity is 2. Now remember, each contract reflects 100 shares. So we'll get to that in a second. But this is the important part. I purchased long out of the money call options for Coinbase. And I purchased it with an expiration date of January 21st, 2022 at a strike price of $300. What this means is that if the price of Coinbase starts approaching $300, I will no longer be out of the money, I will be near the money, and the contract is going to be worth a lot of money. And also, if it goes above $300, so if it gets close to what I think it's going to get to, $325, $345, then my contract is going to be worth a lot of money. It'll most likely be worth 10 to 15 times more than what I paid for it. So this is also important to note. When I buy option contracts, I usually have an exit strategy. And right now, I'm being fairly conservative. What I want to make is about $4,500 off of this contract. $4,500, $5,000 would make me pull out and be a happy camper. Of course, it depends on the situation. If Coinbase is climbing steadily 3% a day, that's fine. If it's a jump of like 10% and then 15 and 20%, I don't trust those types of jumps. I think there's going to be pullbacks, and option contracts are all about momentum. They're all about volatility. So I'll pull out around that $4,500, $5,000 mark. So here's the thing. You see price here, it says $12.20. That's obviously not the price of Coinbase. Coinbase's price is $222. $12.20 is how much one contract costs, but you have to multiply the 1220 by 100 for each contract. So it's 1,220, and because I have two contracts, that means you have to take 1,220 and double it, which is $2,440 and some change for the fees, and that's what it cost to purchase this out of the money call option. And so I want you to think about that for a second. What cost me $2,440 was basically the right to purchase 200 shares at $300. You can think of it as if I took a position of 200 shares of Coinbase right now to see if it'll reach $300 or $350. Imagine buying 200 shares of Coinbase right now. You would have to dish out approximately $44,400. And so you're able to do that with just $2,440. And that's what's really, really cool about option contracts. So two really important things I want to cover today, and then we'll see how I do in future videos. Understand that if you want to buy and hold a stock for the long term, you only need to be right about the price of the stock moving upwards. So if you're used to just buying a stock, let's say you bought $10,000 worth of Coinbase today, all you have to be right is that in the next couple of years, Coinbase starts moving up. Or maybe you even have a longer time horizon and you could wait 5 to 10 years for the stock price of Coinbase to move up. With option strategies though, you don't have that. You need to be right about the price movement, the volatility, and the time period. And if you're not, you will likely lose a healthy portion of that contract price, if not all of that. But I will probably cover all of these basics of call options in a separate video. So now you might be asking, Eddie, why did you decide to purchase it at a strike price of $300? Well, I think it's going to go to $350 closer to the new year. And what I like to do is I like to be somewhere in the middle with the strike price. So right now, the price of Coinbase is $222. And even though the middle between $222 and $350 is less than $300, I just bought $300 call options because they're cheaper. The more far away the strike price of the out of the money call option is from the current price, the cheaper it is, because the likelihood of you being correct and the price of the stock going above the strike price is much less likely. Think of the stock market as a casino. If you're playing a game where the chance of winning is really, really small, then it'll likely be a cheap entry price. The same goes for options. Okay, so it's now June 23rd, and the price of Coinbase has gone up a little bit, and you can see that I am up $718. That's a total gain of almost 30% on my two out of the money long call options on Coinbase. So things are looking good. Next time I update, hopefully it's even better. Okay, so things are really going in the right direction for me. It is June 29th right now, and as you can see, just today I made over $1,000 in profit, and overall I'm up $3,250. That's really impressive stuff, and I really hope that it keeps going like this. I'm going to update in about a week, and hopefully we're up 200-300% on this. I'm really rooting for Bitcoin and for Coinbase. I would love to make a healthy profit on this one. Alright guys, so I goofed up. I wish I showed you guys my portfolio on July 19th and the position on August 3rd, because it was not looking pretty. I was even sitting at a loss on July 19th, and that's something really important to point out. These option contracts can be really, really fickle lovers. You can be doing great one day, and then completely it will destroy your mood and it will destroy your portfolio another day. So you just have to stay course. And remember, earlier on, I mentioned that I'm waiting for that sweet spot of between $4,500 and $5,000 in profit, and if it comes soon, I'm pulling out. And it came relatively soon. I mean, there's so much more time to go until the beginning of the new year that I actually want to lock in my profits. So as you see here, I'm up 190% on my position. My total gain is $4,638, and just today I made $1,780. Mind you, that $1,780, that's almost $2,440 that I spent on the two option contracts. So I did great on this trade. I'm not going to get greedy, and I'm going to look to sell. And I'm going to show you the process of me closing out the position right now. All right, I'm at that exciting stage where I get to close out my position. So remember, when you're buying an out of the money call option, the action is buy to open. And then when you go to close it out, the action is sell to close. So I'm selling to close out my 2 option contracts that expire January 21st, 2022. And it's only August 9th. Now, mind you, I'm going to sell right now. If for some reason Coinbase tanks another 10-15% and those options are really cheap again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to scoop them up once more if my thesis on Bitcoin remains the same. So I want you to look over here at the bid and ask. You see how there's a spread? So the bid prices, there's 27 contracts that are willing to be bought at $30. However, the sellers are asking for $36.30. And the difference is called the spread. Now it's important. The difference between $35.30 and $36.30 is important because you want to make sure that your options contract has liquidity. And there's typically a rule that you want it to be less than 10%. So what I did, I want to close out the option at a price of $36.20. So I want it to be towards that $36.30, but since no one's taken it, I want to drop it to $36.20 and maybe somebody will buy it because it's less than the asking price right now. And I'm setting it as a limit order, good for the day. And you'll see here that my proceeds are going to be $7,238. And remember, I only bought it for $2,440. So I crushed it on this one, and I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for it. When I checked open orders, I realized that 36.2 was not going through and that some other people piled in for 36.2 as far as asking price. So I went and I changed it to 36.1. And now I'm ahead of the pack on the asking price. And we can see here that the order actually got filled, got executed, and went through. And this is excellent. I couldn't have done this without being disciplined, and part of me being disciplined is releasing these videos because sometimes I'm in certain positions and I want to say, you know what, I want this to be kind of a teaching moment, or I want to share it with my subscribers, so I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm not going to make an emotional buy or an emotional sell. I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to stick to my goals. I'm going to stick to the thesis. I'm going to stick to the strategy that I have in place, and that's why I love making these videos. And all I ask in return, if you learn something, if you find it entertaining, if you want to see me succeed, just simply like, comment, subscribe. It's totally optional. Wink, wink. Get it? Optional. In reality, I want to see you guys succeed. So I wish you guys much success. If you have any input, because I'm only learning, I would love to hear from you in the comment section. This channel's still small, so I'm literally going to respond to every single comment that comes through in the comment section. I appreciate you guys. I will see you in the next video.